we used to play this card game, and you would bluff, and then if you
What was it called? Welcome to Happy Chaos.
the grin that was just on your face says you're going to try to keep that.
I am.
Well, welcome to Happy Chaos, episode number
14.
14. Say it in Spanish.
Ooh. Oh, goodness.
Oh,
I don't
boy.
know. I don't get that far in Spanish.
Me neither. Yeah, nope,
Yeah,
can't get there.
no, I'm not going to
Anyways,
butcher that.
it's episode number 14,
Yep.
and we're going to be talking about
Fitness.
as a couple, as a married couple, with a bunch of kids. If you don't know, I'm Justin, this is Kelly, and we are both widowed and then remarried just about 6.5 months ago.
Yeah.
And we have a bunch of kids. We have 9 kids.
We have a slew.
A slew. We have 7 still in the house, and the ones that are not in the house are because they've grown, moved away, and we have adopted children, and we have a grandbaby, hence the name.
Happy Chaos.
Happy Chaos. I'm happy she's chaos.
Pretty true.
Um,
Even though I'm pretty happy, I think you guys could all like chime in.
she's happy unless she's mad.
Unless I'm spicy.
We went to Subway earlier since we're talking about fitness, because remember when that was like the healthy place to go because of Jared?
Yeah.
He turned out to be a really terrible person. But
Very
anyways,
terrible.
but remember that, like, it was like the guy that like walked to Subway every day and got a Subway sandwich, and he supposedly lost all this weight.
Yes.
Anyways,
And we were kind of like discussing.
we were not arguing.
No. I guess arguing against Subway. Because
I just feel like they're lying about their calories.
I do too, because I get their turkey sub when I go there. And I get the turkey sub because, number one, I love turkey. And number two, because it's their least calorie sub. I mean, even a wrap has more calories than their sub. And I know that is true in a lot of cases. I don't know what people do with their wraps, but they usually are higher calorie for some odd reason. People are confused by the wrap. They think, oh, low calorie, it's a wrap. And that's not the case. You have to always check that out. But
They claim 290 calories for a 6-inch
270.
270. No way.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
I mean, of course, if you add mayonnaise or anything like that, but I get mustard, yellow mustard with I got vinegar on it today, which was really good. But I just don't believe it.
Yeah.
I don't believe how even the 6-inch sub roll could be less than 200 calories.
Yeah, that's my point. I don't believe it. Subway, I challenge you. I want to know if your 6-inch turkey on white is really 290 calories. But if you put cheese on it, it would go up 100 calories.
About.
So,
But they're saying that's with cheese. Their sub comes with cheese. And then to add extra cheese, they're saying
We
it's
used to
50 calories for a 6-inch and 100 calories for
I know I'm a
fill-up.
pastor and I would say this, so don't think low of me. But when I was a kid, my parents, and that way I'm throwing them under the bus too. We used to play this card game, and you would bluff, and then if you
What was it called?
we just called it bull. We were like bull.
I was just kidding when I was going there.
No, that's what you never played that. And so you say that you're like laying down a certain card, and then like if somebody thinks you're bluffing, then they're like bull, and then you have to show whether or not.
Y'all.
But we didn't say anything else beside that. We literally just said bull. Like, no, that's it. That's all we said.
Okay, I believe you.
Anyways, I call that about some Subway 270
Yeah, I do
calories
too.
with the cheese. Get out of here.
I know, I do too, but
Anyways, if
made me feel okay.
if you're thinking about like, hey, how can I, like me and my husband, we want to get in shape, we want to work out. This episode might have one thing helpful in the whole thing. And if you're like, we're not into that, well, it's all right. We'll just have fun, and you won't have to stress over it.
and it's a lot of fun doing it with each other.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. I think that's the best way. But
Yeah.
I think we have something we got to do before we talk
And I can
about.
speak, I think, yes, we do. But I can also we can speak from 2 different points of views, because I lost over 100 pounds since 2021 when I lost my husband. And he's always been fit and chiseled because that's what he does. And so, we can speak.
That's not actually true. I kind of.
He says he was really skinny, and then he gained
was.
muscle and weight, but still.
Y'all, I was very skinny, very skinny.
I've never known this.
I was 6 foot tall and 140 pounds when I got married. Maybe 150, but I think I was probably more like 140. Anyways, but I went a long period of time without exercising or working out. So I was a gymnast growing up, and then
So you were probably cut, lean and cut.
so I left that when I was 14, and obviously, you know, I was active, and we rollerbladed and bicycled and played basketball and baseball and football and all of those things out in the yard, and trampoline and swimming, and so all of those things, you know, kept me, I would say, in shape. But then I turned 18 and I got married young, and I'm saying all that to say that I went probably 7 or 8 years without exercise, and I'll tell that story in a little bit about how we got there. But I'll just tell you that I realized getting back into it how out of shape I was, and now it's been a good minute. You know, I mean, that's been 10 years ago since that happened. You know, then I got back into exercising, and me and Sarah began to exercise together. But that's not the thing we have to do next.
We are going to do my favorite thing.
What is your favorite thing? There's like a little song or something, isn't there? Go ahead.
We just got a letter. We just got a comment.
I couldn't remember.
We just got a comment.
I couldn't remember.
Tell us who it's from.
That was cute. All right. These comments are coming from Facebook because that's where we get the most amount of
And
comments.
off of our podcast, last week's podcast.
Yes, I did see a few comments come in on like reels and stuff, and that's the whole point, y'all. Like, there's too many videos and too many things moving around that we just can't keep up.
Like the reels recently have gotten like hundreds of comments, and I'm like, oh, I would love to address that on our podcast, but like I would have to go search down those reels, and that would just take a whole lot of time.
Yeah.
So if you would like a comment read and us to address something, hit us up on
You
our
have
podcast.
you have two places to make that happen. One is Facebook. The other one would be on the podcast on Spotify.
Yeah.
You could comment there, and I think we're trying to keep up with those as well. But the number one is Facebook. Yeah. So I'm gonna put that there so I can keep up with what we're doing if I can get it to stay. Anyways, so these comments are coming from Facebook. We like to just go through and read some of the comments. So Kelly, it's her favorite segment. She would stay here for the next hour and a half.
Yes, I would. First comment, top fan, Dawn Downs. We love Dawn.
Dawn.
She's a
Good
member of our
friend.
church. Good friend. It wasn't as hot inside as it was outside, and the water made it better also. Walmart shoes are not the same. Invest in good quality shoes. I am with Kelly Walker on this one.
Dawn, I love you. I really do. I mean that. But those Walmart shoes, they're fine. Like,
No, they're not.
they're fine. They're not fine.
They're not fine.
They're fine. They work just fine. They cover my feet, keep them, from getting tore up if I'm walking on gravel.
Thank you, Dawn. It's true. You have to invest in good shoes.
Well,
And as far as it was hot
I'll let
inside,
Kelly
but
invest
not,
in shoes for the both of us. You know what? The last pair of shoes she bought, guess what she did? She bought shoes for me because she doesn't have a spending problem. She has a
gifting problem.
Speaking
Which,
of which.
by the way, yes, I started a group on Facebook, and like y'all, I only have like 4 people in that group. I need you guys. I can't send out an invite because I'm not friends with most of you on Facebook, and so I need you guys to look up. It's called gift. What is it called?
I don't remember. You did it, not me.
I'll look it up in a second. I'll leave it on this podcast. I made a comment on our last podcast where I'm reading all these from, and I linked it. So I will link it again on this.
If you
week's
want
podcast.
in the gifting problem group, I asked her the other day. I said, "What are you all gonna do on the group?" I'm still a little confused, but I really feel like you're just gonna encourage each other to go spend.
And gives like sales and places you can get really good deals and gift ideas. And also, I'm really thinking after we've got give it like a month, and maybe we'll do like a secret sisters gift exchange, and have this automated thing, have us give a name, and we'll each have to write down our address, and we'll have a secret sister for the year.
Well, boy, this
I
just
know.
got serious. Lori McCormick, she said, "So funny that you said the handle it once from Ohio." I said in the video, "Only handle it once, Ohio." That was
Yeah.
something my wife used to say, my late wife used to say. And she said, "We do that in our house in Ohio." How about that? Well, Lori, I'm glad you're watching from Ohio. Hi from Kentucky.
You should come and sit in the service sometime and introduce yourself and say, hey.
Depends on where in Ohio. I mean, if you're in like Cincinnati, you're close, like, 40 minutes.
How
45
far
minutes.
it could be the furthest place in Ohio from us? How many
I mean,
hours?
you could go 3 hours in Ohio.
Oh, that's still
3
not bad. 3 hours is good to come over to.
Just make a 3-hour trip. It's like Gilligan's Island.
Lisa Milton. I love you, Lisa. She is a friend of mine from Vero. And she said, laugh out loud, Kelly, you know it's not like hot in Florida. You're right. It's not, but it is. Like it is that hot for maybe a week out of the year. 2 weeks if we're like pushing it.
Last week was brutal.
It was so brutal, y'all. We had a heat wave though. And so it was really brutal. And we don't have a beach to retreat to. So there is the difference.
You don't get that. You go to the beach and there's a natural breeze
For sure.
that comes off.
Right.
off
So
the
I'm
water.
saying that is the difference. But I will say, Florida, you have it for 7 months of the year.
Yeah, we have this conversation often. Do you know what they specifically said on the weather this week? That it was cooler in Florida than it was all up the East Coast.
But still, that happens very rarely. So I'm with you, but not.
Lauren Ingalls said that beginning, LOL, I heard it. Because I put in a little clip about Kelly talking about her Trump flag.
Which, by the way, I have one on our Forerunner now.
There's a
A
flag.
big old flag flying off of it.
There ain't no flag on that Forerunner.
I know, I'm just kidding. But
like,
I was testing the waters there.
I would went out there and taking it off.
Maybe I can get our son to fly one because he has an American flag off in his truck right now.
Are you trying to make us like rednecks? What are you,
It's not redneck yet.
to have a flag flying off the back of your Forerunner?
Okay. Angie Jacks. I lost my husband in our early 30s. It was very devastating. It was a car accident, so complete shock. It took years to be healthy again, mentally and physically. I did remarry. It doesn't ever go away, but today it's more like a scar. It has been over 20 years ago, but the Lord is still working on healing me inside. Honestly, I pushed him away for so long. When I surrendered it all to him, he began to heal me. I wished I would have you guys to listen to all those years ago because most people just were over it and wanted me to be. If I had just ran to the Lord, it would have saved me years of excruciating pain and all that came with it. God bless you both. Oh, like I have so many things, so many thoughts with that. And that is why we're doing this though. You know, we're doing this so people that can relate or have somebody in their lives that have lost somebody and, you know, they can let them know about us so we can just kind of show our story of restoration, what God can really do when you give it all to him. But, you know, I think it's all part of the healing journey too. And I'm sure you learned a lot in that time. And I really feel like my 4 years of 3.5 years of not being married again, the Lord drew me closer to him than I've ever been to him in my whole life. And so there was definitely beauty in the pain. And
There's purpose in the pain.
thank you.
Yeah.
Purpose in the pain. That's much
Yeah,
better.
and I'll say, you know, I'll just add to that. You know, 20 years ago, we didn't have this. We didn't have Facebook. We didn't have, you know, easily recording. You know, a way to easily record and share content with each other. And you know, we're in a different space, but we feel like that's why we want to utilize the place that the Lord's put us in, but also the resources that we have right in front of us. And so, you know, it's not for everybody. We get that. But, you know, I think that there are a lot of people hurting in a lot of ways. And our hurting was visible to a lot of people, especially, you know, my platform was relatively large. And so going through all the grief part on a large platform where, you know, people are seeing that, now we're trying to utilize that to also show the restoration portion and the beauty that's in that.
Yeah.
So,
and thank you for your sweet words. It really does mean a lot to us and it puts purpose behind what we're doing also.
Yvonne, hi, I guess it's Haru, says, my last name has a silent J. Y'all, I stand so corrected on this silent J thing. There's lots of silent J's.
I love
I think there's one in pneumonia. Do you want me to read this one?
Yes.
Barbara Troyer, she said, love your spirit. My sister's husband died and she has had 9 children. And 4 years later, she met her next husband whose wife died, and he had 11 children. So together they had 20. Some were married and some were not all at home. What a big adjustment. Oh my, 20. I thought 9 was a lot.
I know.
You know what? It just goes to prove, though, there's always more.
Yeah,
you
there
know?
is. That's insanity.
There's always somebody that, has more, can do more. There's always something more. So
Yeah. Jackie Keenan, want to be in your spending oops gifting group. Invitations open. I created it like I said I would. And you guys, let's get this party started. I'm really excited about it.
I think you're about to make every husband have an anxiety attack of what's coming from this group.
It'll be good. We'll be saving money. Girl math. Kim Gilliams. No, I'm sorry. Kim Williams.
Yeah, that's right. We were correct.
Hi guys. First wanted to tell you how my last name is pronounced, Williams. And Kelly, I also have a gifting problem. I'm in Ohio, but if I could be a part of your club, send me the rules. Laugh out loud. I love you too, and I'm looking forward to coming down to your church some weekend. And I'm much older than you guys, but we had a large neighborhood group of friends, and I never hear any of our grandchildren talk about outside games like Red Rover, marbles, ring around the rosies, double jump rope, yard darts. New favorite is axe board. My husband made one after we had played during a vacation in Myrtle Beach, and all the older kids and younger kids love it. Just have to be supervised. Cornhole, yard Yahtzee, and horseshoes are our favorites. I miss those days. Listen, all those games are awesome.
We're all about some outdoor time.
Yeah, I don't know all of them, but I'm going to look up
which ones don't you know?
Axe board.
It's like axe throwing, like throwing axes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. And I look forward to you coming too. I mean, you're in Ohio, right?
Only handle it once. There's, let's see, we've already done one there. Sharon McMillan?
Yeah.
I'm saying that right? Sharon Barnes McMillan. Love watching you guys both. I've watched all of them. My goodness, that's a lot of time you've spent with us. We are like best friends.
Yeah.
Love all of them. Love your story. Keep them coming. My husband was a pastor for many years, and we just retired and moved to Alabama from California. That's a big adjustment.
I know.
Blessings to you both. Well, thank you, Sharon. We appreciate you very much.
That's for sure.
Faye said watching from Canada.
That's what I'm talking
All
about.
right, come
Yeah.
on, that's fun. Worldwide. Those fudge bars are my favorite. That's Vicky Quayle said those fudge bars are my favorite. I
call them fudge bars. I think that's a good little equal.
If you all missed it, Kelly.
Then go back.
Oh yeah, go back. What do you call them? Just say it.
Fudgicles. It sounds normal. Fudgicles.
You know what? I don't think I saw one comment of anybody agreeing.
Nobody
with
did,
that
but that's
fudgicles.
okay.
Brandy
Lynn asked, how do I drink my coffee? I drink at Starbucks. No, I'm just kidding. Don't hate on me either, you guys. If you shop anywhere, Walmart, Target, if you shop anywhere, I don't want to hear you coming at me for my Starbucks, okay?
It's a gifting problem.
I gift it to myself.
I always remind her that if you buy a Starbucks a day, how much it adds up to.
But I don't buy a Starbucks a day. Let's get that straight.
Just 5 a week.
No, like 3 a week. And
I've counted before, and she didn't like it by the time I got to the end of the week. And
no, anyways, but when I make my coffee at home, I drink it with a little bit of cream.
What is it?
But I don't use regular cream. I use like oat milk.
Not like Starbucks we get anything from Starbucks for this, but what is it that you like from Starbucks?
An iced brown sugar oat milk shaken espresso with signature espresso. I don't like the blonde espresso. I like the signature espresso with salted cold foam, caramel salted cold foam on top.
Simple.
It's so simple. And it's so delicious, you guys. You got to order it sometime. I'm telling you, you'll fall in love.
Yeah.
They drew me in. I was done with Starbucks and spending the money at Starbucks. And then I walked into the store, and that started it because this guy chased me down and offered me a free coffee, and it was that. And I was like hooked from that point on. So I don't know what to tell you.
Let's see. Allison Lane said, I missed your podcast tonight, so I'm late to watch. But if you see this, Pastor Justin and Kelly, I very much want to be in the gifting group. Well,
Invitations in the comments.
it's going to be there. Makes my heart swell and a big and smile big time. No better feeling than giving gifts and giving y'all credit, Pastor Justin, for trying the coffee.
That's true.
Thank you. But Kelly she had to make up for that because Kelly doesn't like cantaloupe. And so I had a cantaloupe and I cut it up, a rock melon for all of you in Australia. Pretty sure that's what they call it, a rock melon.
Let's ask our friends at Good Grief.
If you guys are watching this from Australia, you can tell Kelly if I'm right about that. I'm pretty sure in Australia they call it cantaloupe a rock melon. Anyways,
It wasn't bad. It's just
so it was like
my favorite.
It was like the next morning I'd cut up this cantaloupe and Kelly was like making faces and I was like, "Oh, you gotta try it." And she was like, "I'm not trying it." And I was like, "You have to. You made me try the coffee in front of everybody."
Even though I've tried everything that this man has offered to me, and I've liked everything pretty much.
Listen, Kelly has expanded her horizons of
Big
food.
time.
She was from Florida and never tried seafood.
I said that I didn't like it, and I never tried it.
Shrimp, fish, lobster,
I love
crab legs,
all of it.
mussels. I remember the night we went out to Bonefish Grill. We were on a date, her and I. We went to Bonefish Grill, and the guy comes out and he's like, "Oh, our special tonight is mussels, whatever." And I was like, big wide-eyed like that. I was like, and looked at Kelly, and she's got this panicked look. Like I see her. I see our second to youngest daughter in her when that panic sets in. Like, we're gonna have to eat that because she's a picky eater. Not Kelly, but our second youngest is a picky eater, and she just has this like panicked look. And I was like, let's get the mussels, and they were good, weren't
They're
they?
really good.
You loved them.
And then we were just at my father-in-law's house, and he did a what do they call that? What was it?
Oh, I think they just call it a broil.
Yeah.
Or a boil. It's like what they do in Louisiana, where you put a bunch of lobster tails and potatoes and corn on the cob and shrimp,
mussels, and
he's got a big old pot and he boil it all and you just like spread it out on the table.
And
I think it's called a boil or
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now. But anyways, he made a delicious spread and it was so good, and the mussels. Right. And so I ate my first mussel, and then he's like, I have more. Do you want one off of my plate? And I'm like, yeah. And so he cracks it open for me. And there was this little black thing in it.
And it was not,
And after they just got done talking about
they were talking about the mud vein in the shrimp, and she got disgusted. She got grossed out. And then she thought the little black thing in the mussel was the mud vein, but it wasn't. It wasn't the mud vein. I don't remember what they said. Somebody looked it up and it wasn't that. Anyways.
Oh.
Yeah, she's still traumatized. Let's see. Dina Craig says, Kelly, start selling t-shirts to fund your gifting problem. I need a t-shirt that says, I don't have a spending problem. It's a gift.
I'm on it. I'll do that this week, and I'm going to put it on.
Put it on the store.
Printify.
Yeah. It's the Whole Truth store.
The Whole Truth store.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Vicky Quills, I just love you guys. I'm so glad you met each other. You guys are awesome. I'm glad we met each other too, because he is pretty awesome.
No, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Are you not going to think I'm awesome when I say it's about time to wrap up these comments?
Not yet.
Babe.
We'll go really quick.
No. Listen, we
Marissa
can't.
Everhart, Fudgical. I love you anyway, Kelly.
We have to move on, babe.
We are. Lisa Milton again. You guys are so cute. Thank you. I love you. And I don't know where she commented on one of the things, and she said we need to come to Vero, and so they can meet Justin. Vero is my hometown, and we're gonna make that happen.
Oh.
Because there's a lot of people that that he needs to meet. Like.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Kate Valley, she's been coming to church. Hey, Kate. She says, I feel like it's gotten hotter than it was on Sunday. Hopefully it will cool down outside and the AC at church will be fully fixed. Well, the AC in our house was broken for about 3 days, and it was hot.
It was so hot, y'all. Like 85 degrees in here.
Yeah. If you've got an AC that just keeps randomly turning off, check the safety switch. And by the way, safety switch is looks like a PVC part, and you pull the little top out of it. It's just to keep it from flooding, when the water is in there. But pull that safety switch, and then if that does it, then just clean out your pipes.
Yeah.
And also pour a little vinegar in there throughout the year in those pipes.
Yeah.
And that'll help too.
Yeah.
There you go. Give me.
If you
some
live in
safety
Florida,
tips.
do it every month.
Thank you all for joining the comment section.
You guys. Leave it in the comments if you think that we should have an episode with just comments.
By the way, down on those comments on the video from last week, you will see the gifting problem group. I saw the little link for it in there. Okay. Anyways, moving on, y'all. We have an actual podcast to do. That's not just reading the comments.
But that's part of it. So
It's Kelly's favorite part.
it's my favorite part for sure.
Y'all, not even exaggerating. Like, she really does love the comments.
So much.
Like we get off and she's like, we could have read a few more. We could have done it. We could have done a little bit more.
maybe if we have time at the end of the show, he'll let us read it.
We're supposed to do something with the kids when we're done here. We are filming this early enough that it's not like midnight right now. Notice we're not yawning every 5 minutes or less. Oh, look, I made you want to yawn, didn't I? You can feel it.
I did feel it a little bit, but I'm gonna fight that.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I don't have my coffee because somebody thinks that I have a coffee problem.
No, it's the Starbucks that you have a problem with. It's not a coffee problem. It's a Starbucks problem.
But I have this water machine, you know, that you put the 5-gallon water in.
A Primo.
A Primo, and it has a Keurig feature. Well, I'm out of water right now, and so I can't make a coffee because all I have is K-cups for coffee here. And I really want one so bad. I thought about asking my daughter to go get me one, but then I would be judged. And
Did you see her eyes? Did you see what she just did? I know y'all listening to this.
I really do feel like texting her, but my phone's right there. So.
Yeah.
Oh, and they're closed. They closed at 8.
They closed.
Shucky darns.
Oh no! We'll have to save our $7.
Yes.
It's more than 7.
No.
Oh my word! It's more than $7 for a drink.
Just because the salted cold foam is $1.25.
Oh my
I know.
word! Honey, this is a waste of money.
It's not though.
It's a spending problem. It's a spending problem.
It's not a spending problem.
Oh my word. Okay, we are moving on. We're going to talk about fitness now after all these comments and Starbucks conversation.
Yes.
So we have here, first part we want to talk about is just why we started working out together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who don't know the story, as the story goes, that, well, let me back up just a little and say that I was already into fitness, if you will. I wouldn't say I'm not into it any more than just the simple fact that I'm an enthusiast of I enjoy exercise in a strange way. And somebody said to me one time, they said, oh, well, if you could be fit but didn't have to do the exercise, would you do it? And I'm like, no, I legitimately enjoy running or lifting weights or, whatever. I enjoy the process too. So,
you feel really good.
Yeah, and it feels good to have something to do. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, so for me, my late wife wanted to lose weight. She had our 4th biological child, 6th child total, and she just kept the baby weight on and couldn't get rid of it, and then even gained a little bit more, and kind of had this eye-opening day. And I remember getting in the car that day, and she was like, I want to lose this weight. And I was like, we were poor at the time, we didn't have any money, and somebody gave us a bootleg copy of P90X. And so she did P90X off of this thumb drive that somebody had given us. She would plug it in the front of the DVD player. There's ancient for you.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Well, we had I don't think you could with all of them, but some of them you could. And so we had one that had a spot for a flash drive on the front. So she plugs in this flash drive, and we got on Google and found the charts of how to chart it out, how to mark what you're doing or whatever. And so she printed out her own little charts, and she had this flash drive, and so she lost 50 pounds, more than 50 pounds off of doing P90X, and loved it so much she does it a second time, and she's begging me to do it with her, and I just didn't have the time. I was about done with school, and I was I was going through seminary at the time, and I was about done, and I said, look, when I finish, I promise you, I will do this with you, but you got to let me finish. Let me get through finals, let me get through seminary, and then, in my mind, I was like, oh, I'm in shape, I'm in shape. And so I finished school, and I remember coming downstairs I had been typing on the computer. I hit my last period. She used to check my work for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I come down, I'm like, guess who just finished his last, it was for my master's program. And I'm like, guess who just finished his last portion for the master's program? And, everybody in the house, kids and Sarah, they're all, yeah, everybody's clapping or whatever. And Sarah just immediately was like, and now you got to do P90X. And so we did. And that first leg day, I remember going into work and there's a curb to like get up, just up onto the sidewalk. And I felt like I had to like take my leg and like throw it on the curb. And I just didn't realize how out of shape I had gotten in, 7 or 8 years of not exercising. Maybe I would say like not exercising at all. Like no dedicated, like I'm going to try to exercise. 8 years is probably minimum. It might have been even a little bit longer than that. Because it took me almost 9 years to get through school. And I don't think for the most part through any of that I did any real exercise. I mean, I guess a few times I did go to like my brother's gym, like one-off things, but I definitely didn't
regularly.
I didn't regularly work out or dedicated workouts. I played basketball or something, but I didn't have like, oh, I'm going to go exercise. I'm going to work out. And so I was already in, so that was like a big eye-opening experience for me. Like, oh man, I'm losing it. And so we did P90X together. And then when we got done with P90X, some friends of ours turned us on to a program at the time. It was called Live Exercise. And we bought these bands, body elastic bands, and we were working out with bands, and we were doing this program called Live Exercise. Since then, they've changed to they just call it Body Last is the app now. They still have them. We still do them every now and then. But it was Sarah and I doing those together. And Sarah was really into fitness. And so she she got her certification as a personal trainer. And it was probably about a month before she was diagnosed that she got her first certificate as a personal trainer. And so she had these big aspirations of being like a female personal trainer. Like she wanted to be like the realest sense of like a person. She wanted to like find ways to reach women one-on-one and help them to get in shape. And she had lost, by the way. So she, at her highest, she was like 210 pounds ish. So she's about 210 pounds, and she got all the way down, she was walking around 135 pounds. So she had lost about 70 pounds, 75 pounds total. By the time she had gone through all that, all that working out and all that exercise. And so, she really had a heart to try to like, help other ladies to get in shape. That's what she wanted to do. And she had done it herself. And so then she got sick. And when she got sick, obviously, exercise went out the window. We just focused on her. And then when she passed, I just got back into like I wanted to exercise. And I know I'm not trying to make this heavy today in any way, but just for myself personally, that was an interesting experience because when we were exercising, we'd kind of come to a place that I've told this to you that like I wanted to be in shape for my wife. And that was in my head. Like, I'm like, there was a purpose there to all this, exercising. We would work out, no exaggeration, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, we would work out and loved it. Every day before work, we would come downstairs and we would turn on Live Exercise and do one of their workouts. Or if we didn't do that, we'd go for a run and come back and make up our own thing. And we always worked out here in the house. We always exercised here. We didn't have time with all the kids. We didn't have time to go to a gym. We didn't have anybody to watch the kids in the morning or in the evening or whatever. So we always exercised here at the house. But when she passed, it was like, well, what's the purpose now? That was something that I just kind of had to wrestle with because then it felt like vanity to a point, to exercise without her. Before there was like this purpose, like, hey, I want to look good for my wife. I want my wife to want me, and so there was like purpose there. And then now that she's gone, I'm struggling with like, is it vanity for me to exercise? But I will say that a good friend of mine, Paul, he started working out with me after Sarah had passed. And that was a huge help to like have a kind of like a partner, to have somebody that was like in it with me. And so then it felt again, there felt like there was some purpose there. Like, Paul's coming over in the morning and I'm gonna exercise with him. And so, we worked out goodness for probably a year and a half. Him and I worked out together. And that led to you and I. But I guess before I get to that, you welcome to share your.
I've always wanted to like get in shape and lose weight, and when I put my mind to something, I do it. And so probably back in 2013, I had lost 70 pounds, and I was.
Did you say 2013?
Yeah, 2013.
Okay.
And then I got pregnant with Sophia.
Mm-hmm.
And we had trouble like getting pregnant. I tried since my first, which was 2007. And then boom, lost 70 pounds and got pregnant again. And so I actually stayed pretty fit during that pregnancy. And even right after, I think I had gained a total of like 45 pounds in that pregnancy, and lost 50 pounds within 2 weeks after. And but then it slowly started to creep back on and got right back up to where I always was. And so I started going to lift and I did like a lift challenge, and so I was just kind of back and forth. But Lift is the gym that Bonnie and Steve Feaster own, and they do live exercise.
Yeah, so this is an interesting part if you guys are listening to this and keeping up. So Sarah and I did live exercise, and live exercise it's a video program that they did live. They shot them live, like you could do it live, with the people on the screen. Like we're in our house, but they're on our, computer or television, whatever, and we're working out live with them. So one of the workout couples that they would do this class, their name is Bonnie and Steve Feaster. They were on live exercise. Sarah and I were doing their program. They were like our favorite one. They did like a boot camp style exercise, like kind of like a CrossFit style, if you will, type of stuff. So, lots of kettlebells and pull-ups and push-ups and burpees and all these things. And so we're working out, doing these Bonnie and Steve workouts.
And I'm in their gym working out with them.
Yeah.
And
so interestingly, Sarah was friends. She kind of like became, long distance friends with Bonnie Feaster. Like they messaged each other, they called each other on the phone. Bonnie was kind of helping Sarah get into the fitness world a little bit, like getting her some stuff, at least information or whatever. And so when Sarah got sick, Bonnie was sharing some of the things about Sarah's cancer journey. And Kelly was going to their gym, and Kelly knew them. And so Kelly actually commented.
Well, because she posted your story probably late August, right after.
Yeah.
And Jonathan was diagnosed June of 2020. Sarah was diagnosed August of 2020.
Yeah.
And so Bonnie had posted Sarah's story, and Sarah had commented, and she just said, asking for prayers and thank you for posting this. And I had commented, which I didn't realize any of this until about 6 months ago. And I commented on Sarah's comment, and I said, oh my goodness, I'm praying for you guys. My husband was just diagnosed with cancer, and if you ever need to talk, I'm here. You can message me. And I just was oblivious at the time.
Yeah, we didn't know that Kelly had made. Yeah, we didn't know each other. I mean, Kelly didn't know
Like
Sarah.
even seeing that comment, I'm like,
Yes.
did I really comment on that?
So it was so interesting to see. Like we found that later, like after we were together, found that comment that Kelly had made. But
even the post, I didn't even realize that it was a post about you guys. Like I was going through, I don't know, Bonnie's thing, because we had just become Facebook friends again.
Yeah.
I don't know why we didn't. I don't know whether, I think I had to make a new Facebook because I was locked out of my old one. And so I was looking at her post, and up pops this post about Sarah. And I'm like, no way. And I knew that they knew her, but I had no idea that Bonnie had made a post.
And that you had commented.
And that I had commented on it.
Kelly knew that we knew Bonnie and Steve, because after we met, so that leads us to kind of like how we started working out together.
Yeah.
Kelly lost her husband. I had lost my wife.
And I went back to Lift Fitness, and I started working out there. And Bonnie did a fundraiser for me and the girls to raise some money for us because she knew, we were in a really hard spot just having lost Jonathan. And so she posted it on social media. I shared it and he's like, oh my gosh, I know Bonnie. We know Bonnie and Steve. And and so that's how we ended up telling our stories of, oh, I know Bonnie and oh, I worked out there and I worked out with them.
So we were posting we'd met on a widow group on Facebook. And so in the early days of me just like messaging with Kelly, so this is after my wife has passed, after her husband had passed, we met each other on the widow group. That is how we met, was there on the widow group. We began sending messages, and some of that had conversation about exercise. And Kelly was asking me, certain things about exercise and what I was doing and whatever. And I remember encouraging her to go to a spin class. Which was funny because I didn't actually know what a spin class was. I had to Google that. I was like, when you say spin, I think of like a kid spinning around. I'm like, what the heck is a spin class?
And they had just opened up their spin studio at Lyft.
Yeah. And so Kelly was like, I'm kind of thinking about doing the spin class. And so when I looked it up, and obviously it's like exercise bike, that's what a spin class is. And she was like, I kind of think I might like it. And I remember encouraging her. I was like, you should totally do that. And so that was like the very beginnings. Was, I was taking these workouts that I was doing and I was sending them to Kelly. And so she was just like I was doing here with Paul. Paul and I were working out and I would write down these workouts. And, Paul and I were always challenging each other to take it further and do more. And so I was sending those to Kelly. And, then that turned into later, then we started talking on the phone, then we started video calling with each other, videoing with each other, to see each other.
And then if the boys couldn't work out with him, we would video and work out and do his workouts together.
So there was a few times that we even worked out together, like via video. And then when Kelly moved here, when she moved to Kentucky, just so everybody's clear, like she moved to Kentucky, not in my house. She had her own house. I had this house. And so, she moved to Kentucky, and then we began working out like physically together. Like she would come over and we would work out. And again, that helped to bring motivation, as Paul and myself, we'd been working out for a while, and that started to kind of wind down a little bit. Then it was like Kelly was here to pick back up. And so I definitely am an extrovert when it comes to working out, in the true sense of extrovert. Like I'm energized by people, when there's people to work out with and there's somebody to participate with, then that gives me motivation. I know not everybody is that way, and I don't have to have somebody else to want to get up and go work out. I will go get up and work out by myself, but if there's somebody that I'm working out with, I do find myself like, push harder. I want to push them harder, And
I have to work out with somebody who is just as motivated as me, if not more motivated than me, because I like to be pushed, and I don't like working out with people who, like, if I'm getting up at 5:30 in the morning, I'm there to work out. I'm not there to piddle around the gym.
You said piddle.
I know.
See, we had this discussion about piddle.
I just learned that didn't mean just one thing.
She thought it meant tinkle, but
because it does. Piddling means that.
No, piddling means you're not quite dawdling, but you're just.
It also means
you're just kind of messing. You're just kind of like you're messing around. You're not quite doing anything, but you're not doing anything. If somebody was like, "What are you doing?" You could name something. You'd be like, "I'm messing with something." I'm
piddling. That would be like, Kelly, I did not need to know that.
When I would said to Kelly that I was piddling or don't piddle, she thought that it was like piddling was like tinkling, like pee. But
look at how you just said that.
Pee.
Because I'm rubbing off on you. You're like
I whispered pee. Well, that's not what piddling means, honey. You're in the South, and you're not in the New York South of Florida. You're in the actual South.
Actually, my dad calls it Flexico.
Flexico?
Florida and Mexico.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe so. No, because you're leaving out the New York people. Everybody from New York goes to Florida. So,
it's true.
Yeah. Anyways, that's how we got together and we started working out together was it started from a widow group, and then it landed with Kelly moving here and then us exercising together. And so she would drive over in the mornings and we would, work out, and then she would go home and get her girls and, head to work or whatever it was that she needed to do. So she usually would come over at like 5:30 in the morning, and we would work out from 5:30 until roughly about 7, usually about an hour and a half. And then she would head back home. And that was just it was a nice motivational way to start our days. And, for me, just something else I would love to just talk about for a moment. It's just the fact that, for me, when in the middle of that widower journey is, I played this game with myself that I was like, do the thing that you don't want to do. And so there was definitely a moment in time where I was like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to whatever. And so like Paul coming over and working out with me, and you working out with me, and you having me send you workouts, like it gave me a reason to do that thing that I didn't, not that I didn't want to work out anymore, but just that I didn't want to do anything. Like life was just really,
it's hard to learn to do
yeah,
everything, literally, without the person that you did everything with before.
Yeah.
And to want to do
Yeah.
everything.
So one of the first things that I did with Kelly, though, when we were, she's asking me for workout ideas and what to do. And do you remember this? I challenged Kelly to do 100 burpees every single
Because I think
day.
it's somewhere in the conversation I said I hate burpees.
Yeah.
And so you were like, let's do a challenge. Let's do 100 burpees a day.
And so it became this challenge. So when I was working out, I'm here at the house. I'm here in Kentucky. She's in Florida. I'm working out with Paul, and I would start our workouts with 100 burpees. And then she's challenged to do 100 burpees. And the way that we would do that, if you don't know what a burpee is, it's like you're standing up, you go down to the ground in a push-up position, this with some speed, if you will. Like you go down, you drop down quickly, and you flatten out like you're going to do a push-up. You do a push-up, and then you jump, pull your feet to your hands, and then you jump up in the air and then go back down to a push up all the way flat. So you basically make yourself all the way flat on the ground and then jumping up, and then all the way flat on the ground and then jumping up. And so it's called a burpee. What we would do is we would do 10 of those. This can sound like a lot. You have 1 minute to do 10. So, and then you just do that. You repeat that process for the next 10 minutes. So if you do 10 of them, and usually for us, we're about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So we do 10 of them in 30 seconds, and then you get 30 seconds off. Nice. And then you do 10 of them for the next 30 seconds, and then 30 seconds off, and then so on. Then you do that for 10 minutes. And y'all, I'm just going to tell you, that has become our favorite warm up. I mean, we hate it. It's a love-hate relationship with the burpees. But what we found is there's like, we have tried all kinds of other things to warm up. That is like the best warm up is 100 burpees. It is.
Hands down. I mean, to the point where like I've been at this plateau for like 2 years where I am just, so I lost over 100 pounds, moved here, gained 20 pounds back of that, say 110-ish, and been stuck here. I have just been completely stuck in this spot. And we stopped doing like the 100 burpee warm up for a little while. I mean, for probably close to a year.
Yeah, it's been a good minute.
And we started doing it again, and I'm a month in, and I've dropped 8 pounds.
But we haven't been doing it daily.
No.
We've been doing it more like
3 to 4 times.
Yeah, I was gonna say three times a week, maybe 4. That we're getting the 100 burpees.
But I'm determined to bump that up, and even then, like
I'm saying right now, gauntlet dropped. Right now, 100 burpees a day
for 30 days.
From now through the end of July.
Okay, and from now till vacation.
Okay. You're not scaring me.
60 days.
You're not scaring me. 100 burpees a day. I'm totally down. Y'all want to do it with us?
Shake on it. Let us know in the comments if you guys are going to join us.
100 burpees a day. You do 10 burpees every minute for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So 100 burpees. If that becomes too easy for you, you can increase them.
So that's where I was going with this. So it got to the point where probably after a month or two, that not that it's not exhausting, because it is. 100 burpees it's crazy no matter which way you look at it. But it also gets to the point where you're like, okay, I could do a little bit more. And so Justin here decided to amp it up, and he would have us put a bar down, and you do a burpee, hop over the bar, do a burpee.
Well, you hop over the bar and turn around. So
Yeah.
you're always facing the bar. So and you put a bigger weight on the bar, make the bar higher. So you have to jump higher. So you'd be surprised how crazy that feels. You jump over that bar, and by the time you're done with the first, say, 10 or 20 burpees, you are winded.
And he tried to like throw that in there when we first started back with burpees, and I'm like, no. We are not starting that yet. Let's give us something to look forward to. Let's get exhausted with these burpees to the point where it's like, okay, I'm ready for the next step.
But I've taken it as far as to put a box in front of us,
Yeah.
like not just a bar, but a box, and you do a
gosh.
box hop and then turn around and burpee, and then box hop and turn around burpee, and
Which you CrossFitters, kudos to you, because
no,
you guys are probably laughing at us right now because y'all like, I do that for breakfast.
Well, but I've talked to some CrossFitters, and what I found is that they're like, if you're doing 100 burpees like that, a lot of them are like, that would be a workout. We're doing it as a warm up, like that's our 10-minute warm up. And then we, do some sort of a workout, whether that's, hypertrophy or lift or cardio or whatever that we're doing for the day. Cardio.
Yeah. Because we never do like treadmill or none of that stuff. Like it is lifting, but
Yeah, for sure.
stuff in between.
Yeah. I mean, anyways, that's where it all started with us. It started with us working out and then me giving her this challenge. And then we were like accountability partners through the challenge of, like, let's make this happen. You do 100. Did you do your 100? Did I do my 100? We were really encouraging each other through that. And challenges have been a thing even up until now with the step challenge.
Yes.
The step challenge is a lie, you all.
It's not a lie.
I know. There's been a few times in my life that I know that statistically.
What are your steps at right now? Oh, never mind. I didn't ask that.
What are you asking? Hold on, let's look.
No,
let's take a look.
not.
We're gonna look right here
Let's
live.
not.
I'm only at 7,968. What are you at? 4,000. We're gonna have to take a walk after this.
Yeah. It's been raining, you guys. And we were at church until 3:30 today.
Oh, we were counseling with a woman for 2 hours.
Yeah. So we were there sitting.
Yeah.
Sitting. I sat through service. I sat through counseling.
We're regularly right now, we're getting between 15 and 20,000 a day
Yeah.
as our typical. Yeah. But, everything with me is a competition. And
I'm my own competition. Like, I don't need anybody to compete with me. Like, I'm my worst critic. Like, I'm like,
let me prove to you right now. Let's see who's more tan.
I am.
And she's not in a competition. Everything's a competition with her too. Don't you fool anybody. It is a competition. I'm not the only one, is what I'm saying.
Look at I'm a tan girl. I even got complimented on my tan today.
I don't even know why that's a thing for us, but everything's a competition. The steps are a competition. And so we have these watches, these fitness tracker watches, and we use them to count calories when we work out, and that's a competition in and of itself. And I always beat Kelly in calories. We'll do the exact same workout, and I am consistently 100 to 150 calories more than Kelly, but it's fine because I lift more.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he does lift more. I mean, come on, you guys. I'm not a muscular dude.
Just say I win. It's
I
fine.
don't want to lift the same thing as you.
No, I know.
That'd be gross.
Yeah. So, but I beat you in calories.
Yes. Hands down. Every time.
But steps, we go on a walk. Now, our typical walk in the morning is
About 4 miles.
Yeah, about 4 miles. And so we go on like this 4-mile walk in the morning. We love to go bright and early. We can only do it when it's, like this, when it's summertime, And so we love to go on like this long walk, and well, I mean, it doesn't always have to be in the morning. I mean, just somewhere in the day we like to go out and take.
Well, we usually always go in the morning, and then sometimes we'll go again in the evening. And
yeah, so we love to go and take this long walk, and at the end of it, I start looking, and Kelly claims that she's taking more steps.
what more? How much more proof do you need? My watch tells you. We switched watches, and that was a little funky. We don't know what happened there because he's legit. Like, he has a reason to be like, this is bull, as his game was. It literally, you guys. All right. So everybody's like, oh, is Kelly cheating? I did not cheat. I have not done
You're
anything.
saying everybody's saying it's Kelly cheating. No. Y'all are against me in this one.
No, I put my watch on, He puts his watch on. We leave the house. We do the exact same thing. I am not like running up and getting extra step. Like if we were in a step challenge, I'll get up and do whatever I need to do to win. But literally, we weren't in a step challenge. We were literally just going on a walk together, and we decided to switch watches. We took the advice of some people that commented.
Okay, so it started out, I'm looking at my watch and I'm going, how come my watch says like 1,000 or 1,500 steps less than what yours says? And she says, because I have little legs.
I have little legs. Like I'm not just shorter than him. My legs are shorter than my body. Like I do have short legs. I have little legs. I don't have like, you know how some people have long legs. Like, oh, she's all legs. I'm not all legs. I have short legs. And so like I have short from my knee to my
If we lined up our hips and stuck our legs out, from my hip to the bottom of my
Maybe you have short legs too.
I don't have short legs. I'm the opposite of short legs.
Are you though? Maybe you just have a long torso like me.
My legs are not short. But even if they were, then it would only prove my point even more. If you were to line us up hip to hip and line us up, maybe the difference in our legs, I think 3-4 inches at max is going to be the difference. I mean, I'm only 4 inches taller than you.
Yes, but listen to me. Y'all, he is 6 foot. I am 5'7".
I don't know why you're saying this to them. They're for you. Like they are on your side on this one.
I really do have to take at least
Listen to her hands. like she's got
like
she's
he
got
just
like
walks, and it's just like he's just getting there, like he doesn't even have to try. And I'm like,
yo, she makes it sound like she's a Chihuahua and I'm a Sasquatch, and that is not. That is.
But it is. I'm like behind him.
No,
like,
you.
Yes, I am. I'm constantly telling him, like, we were walking from out of our car at church today, and he's like 5 feet ahead of me, and I'm like, I have little legs. Like, aren't you gonna wait up for me? You know, it's always a thing. Always a thing. I'm always like, wait up for little legs. Wait up for little legs.
We walked, and I kept counting. I'm like, right, left, right, left, right. We were in step forever. Just the exact same step, side by side, just walking. And even in that moment, she's like, you just walk like your legs are just, because apparently I thought like, your legs just do whatever they want.
Yeah,
like,
they're just like on vacation over there, just taking you too, like the Jetsons.
That is.
Mine's over here like.
Y'all, so, all right, look, here's what happened. So I'm saying, why is she having 1,000 more steps? All y'all on the interwebs, you let me know that y'all all came at me. I mean, we have mathematical formulas that we've been sent about how this works with these steps. I have people who are insisting to me that, yes, this is how it works. And I get it. I know what you're saying, that she has shorter legs. I'm saying that the amount of steps, it's like 30%. It's like 35% more. And I'm like, my legs are not 30% longer than yours.
If I'm getting like 7,500 steps in our 4 mile
mine will
walk,
say 58 or
Yes.
maybe 6,000.
Yeah.
So she's like, yeah, yes, that's how it goes.
To me, it makes sense. I've got these little legs. You have big legs, long legs.
Okay. So anyway, we switch watches. And somebody said it in the comments, we were posting our story, we switched watches. We take the 4 mile walk. We get back in the driveway. True story now.
Well, hold on. Let's talk about the during. Because at first check-in, I was only like 50 steps ahead of him.
Right.
And he's like, see? And I'm like, oh, no. Wait until we get to our halfway mark, because that's where we really see that we get to our halfway mark. I even have a video on my phone that we didn't post with the videos. And I was like 700 steps ahead of him. And he's like, oh, and so, and I know he's like, oh, it's only 700. I said, yeah, but it's only 700 now. Wait until we get to the end. And so we get to the end, and we're walking up the driveway, and we're like, all right, watch check time. And this is where he starts videoing. And he pulls it up, and we are literally like 25 steps away from each other.
Mine said, when I say mine, I'm wearing her watch. It's on my story. I'm wearing her watch, and I go, I'm at 7,000, whatever. And she says, I'm at 7,000, whatever. And I was like, oh. And so I start kind of, banter playing with her.
That's when you started your phone.
Right. And so then I start the video,
And we go like this.
and if y'all saw it live, you saw this happen. So she's like, "No, yours says 6,000 and something, like right at
1,000 less.
And I was like, "No, wait." And I'm like, "What happened? What's going on?" We turn that. She's laughing. She thinks it's so funny. We turn the video off, and I'm like, "What is going on?"
And he's like, you saw it. And it was back to 7,000.
7,000. And so then I turned my phone on again, and I'm like, "No, we're doing this again." And I was like, "True check-in time, Kelly." And when I turned the watch over, y'all won't believe it, it's back to 6. So it was like 7, and then my camera came on at 6. Then we turned my camera off. It's back to 7.
I think it's just funny. It's like one big joke on him.
Here's what I think. This is what I think. This is what I think could have happened.
I sabotaged it with my mind powers.
I think that she got the Facebook advertisement people to listen to us. No, you know what I really think happened? I think that because I had my phone, if I take my phone and not my watch, it'll when I get in the proximity of my watch, my phone will take over my watch. And so in other words, if I leave my watch at home and I go for a walk, but I take my phone with me, then when I get home, my watch will tell me how many, it'll like pick up and say, "Oh, walk detected, and you have so many steps," and it'll put it on my watch from my phone technology. It just does it. They play nice together. And so what I think happened is, I think even though I was wearing her watch and she had my watch, I think that, kind of like the wires are crossed. I think that my phone was registering that I had 6,000 steps, but the watch was registering what you had. Like your watch was picking up from your phone, not from my steps. Is making sense what I'm saying?
So what this all boils down to is I get 1,000 to 1,500 steps more than him every day.
It doesn't make mathematical sense. This is like when I said that chocolate ice cream is better than vanilla ice cream. Only to find out.
So.
Yeah, but statistically speaking, vanilla is the more popular flavor.
Stop it, no way.
Oh, by and large, if you've made it this far into the video, you can tell Kelly vanilla or chocolate. I've done this before. I've done this little like unscientific study.
And let's get specific though. French vanilla or vanilla bean?
But here's why vanilla is more popular. Number one, it's familiar. Number two, people like to put other things with it. So they like vanilla so they can put the stuff with it that you wouldn't normally put with chocolate maybe. But anyways, I'm just telling you, I'm like, no, there's no way. Chocolate is the better flavor. There's way more people that like vanilla. Like by and large, like it's like 70-30 or something.
That's
like
crazy.
That. I know. You'd think it'd be 50-50 at anything, but it's not.
That's crazy.
Anyways, this is one of those moments that I'm certain that I'm
You're
right.
conceding.
I'm certain that I'm right, but I'm conceding because how can I argue this point? The watch says you take more steps. I have all of your comments. I see them, all of your private messages, all of your direct messages to let me know how wrong I am and how unfair these competitions are to you short-legged people. But I actually feel like it's to your favor because, this is the one thing that Kelly is able to, we do the exact same thing and she's able to beat me. So the only way for me to beat her is I would have to go on an extra mile of a walk to make the same amount of steps. So she could, if we were in a step challenge, I want you to think about this when we're doing a step challenge, if you beat me by 1,000 steps or 1,500 steps.
I didn't really beat you.
You didn't really beat me. We walked the same distance.
What do you guys think?
We walked the same distance. Is what I'm saying.
We did walk the same distance, but step challenge. Step challenge. Let my little legs have an advantage somewhere.
Oh, you get it. You get the advantage. I'm conceding. You get more steps than me.
Okay.
On the same walk. I'm just pointing out that means that I have to walk further distances with you. So anytime that I've beat you in a step challenge, think of the distance of how much more I had to walk.
To keep up with you on a daily basis. So
I don't know if you guys can hear her nails when she is doing that, but she tries to make it sound like a little puppy running, like a little, like I said, a little Chihuahua, a little Yorkshire Terrier coming across the wood floor. Oh, wait for Kelly.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel all the time.
We take a walk and we just have the best conversations on our walk. We
do.
just talk the whole time. She's not behind me like, hey, we're trying to talk. Nope, we're just shoulder to shoulder.
That's because I push. Like I try and stride bigger and
my legs are just taking me wherever I want.
I love you.
Well,
I can't.
I love the voice that my legs get. I just want to talk about just for a moment though, I want to talk about like just fitness and marriage, like working out, and I think that even like this playful banter that we have even here, I think that there's something about like having a workout partner, but even more so when that workout partner is your spouse. Now, I know that not everybody can do that. I get it. Like, there's some of you that are going to be like, I couldn't work out with whoever. And I will say that there are definitely differences, and you have to learn to get over those. And even from like when we were dating to now that we're married, Kelly doesn't like this. Did y'all see her eyes shift a little bit? Like there was a difference. Kelly, when we were dating, Kelly liked a little more push.
He says this, but I just don't understand where he's coming from. Like, I seriously ask him. So, who starts strong?
No, this is true. I start strong.
Who ends strong?
You do, for sure.
Who pushes in the end?
Oh, you totally do. You totally do. But listen, here's the thing. When we were dating, we never had an argument about working out. Ever. But since we've been married, it's just, I see these like videos of people that's like their husband and a wife try to work out, and the husband like says one thing and she gets mad. I kind of feel like that sometimes.
Y'all, it's just different. There's
like when we were dating, she could be like doing something, like say we're doing squats, and I'd be like, let's throw on 20 more pounds, and she's like, all right, she'll put, and now I'm like, let's throw on 20 more pounds, and she's like, I can't do 20 pounds. And I'm like, yes, you can. You could do 20 more. Like, it's legs. Your legs are powerful. You could totally do 20 more. So there's like, there's just a difference in like, I think the comfortability, like, is that a word, comfortability? Yeah. I mean, like there was a level of comfort when, we were at a distance, and then at that level of comfort, or maybe discomfort when we were at a distance, and then we start working out together. And I think everybody does, right? You're trying to like put your best foot forward, but now we're married, and it's like, you can just let those emotions out. And so if you're not wanting to throw down 100 burpees today, you can make that known without thinking, oh, he's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he's gonna think something different of me or whatever. I just think that's a natural cause and effect. And so I don't know. Listen, this is what I'm saying, guys. If there's any guys that watch this podcast at all, this is what I'm saying to you. Like, it's different. You work out, like if I work out with Paul, I can look at Paul and be like, push it, you wimp, like we can, don't you quit, you better, if we're doing push-ups and somebody's like struggling and somebody else decides to come over and like put a weight on their back or something, nobody's getting mad at each other.
Here he goes. Like, when have I ever gotten mad?
Never. Anyway, so My point is that there's a difference, but I think that the pros outweigh any cons that are there. That's what I think. You're scowling at me right now, and that's okay.
Anywho,
I just think this though. What I'm saying is that like there is a teamwork that's built when you work out together. There's like even here we are. Like, I haven't worked out with Paul in how long, and yet when I talk about it, there was a camaraderie that was built there because we worked out together. And I'm saying that you and I, there's something special when you have something that you do together, and something that's going to take up, you only get 24 hours in the day. If you're going to take up hour and a half or 2 hours of your day doing something, put that, if you take 2 hours of your day, you're nearly at 10% of your day that you just spent exercising. And so I'm just saying that the camaraderie and the team building that happens, and I personally would say that like I find I told you earlier, like I'm an extrovert in that. So like I find, even now, like we're married, and I'm telling you, like if I'm over there doing dips, the other day I got this new rack that you guys might have saw for Father's Day. Kelly got me this new rack, and it's got these dip bars, and I was only able to do 8. I was only able to do like 8 dips. And in my mind, I was like, I don't want Kelly seeing me do 8. Like, it's like a wimpy amount. It's like a little kid amount, like 8. I used to do like 20 when I was in gymnastics, but I guess, weighed a whole lot less. And, did it regularly or whatever. But, so like 8 dips, I'm like, I can't believe I only got, just in my mind, like I didn't say anything about it, but, then I was like the next round, I'm like, I got to get 9, I got to get 10, it like encourages me to go further. So I don't know. I'm just simply saying that I think that the team building that comes from working out together and spending that time together and pushing with each other. And also I think too, there's something about like setting goals with each other. I think it's a good thing. It's a good practice to have where we're like, working together toward a goal, even if, and sometimes those goals are different. Like, it doesn't have to be a weight loss goal or something of that nature. It could be like I want to run faster in my mile, or I want to, get more steps in the day or whatever, like having those goals together. I think that's a really special thing.
Yeah. And it influences our kids. Like Mila, our youngest, she'll come down here some mornings and she's like, you guys are working out without me? And she'll come out and she just tries to do everything that we're doing. She's like, she does burpees. She does like so many things. It's so cute. And she loves it.
It is funny to me though, to watch like, things that seem so natural because we do them so often, like shoulder presses. And so I'm like, okay, we're going to do shoulder presses. And we're standing there in front of her, we're doing shoulder presses and her little arms are very uncoordinated. And, she's like, they're going everywhere. And, it's very.
Yeah. But she's got these little ripped little arms.
She does.
So cute.
Because she's always like pushing up, like she loves those dip bars. She's always like pushing up on those dip bars. So she's got triceps for days.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, she does.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I think too, like, I think modeling to our kids.
Well, yeah.
That, keeping yourself in shape is a good thing. Like, I don't put all my stock in that. Like if you said right now, like you had to choose some other thing or exercising, I would totally put other things in front of exercising. If other things of importance, if you talked about like, church or worship or prayer, work, like providing for the family or whatever, I'd put all of those things way, way, way in front. Like exercising is such a backseat of all of those things. For anybody that turned this podcast off early, I could see somebody thinking, oh, well, they just, they're that couple that just loves, working out or whatever. But it's not that. I mean, it is not a matter of like, I put exercise in front of everything, or that you put exercise in front of everything. I think it gives us something to do together, and we love that. And I think it models to our kids that, you respect the body that you have, and you're working on the thing that you have. This is a resource that we have. And so, just like any other resource that you have, that you put a little bit of work into it to make it better. I think the same thing with exercise. So I think it's modeling something good for our kids. And yeah.
Our 2 youngest girls are always like, Mom, I want to start eating healthy like you. And what do I have to do? What are you having for dinner? That's what I'm going to have for dinner. Because I usually have something different than everybody else. But, even Phoebe, the daughter he brought into the marriage, she has always been like, she loves salad, she loves vegetables. And
I will say that, there is there's some of that's like, my kids definitely picked up my bad habits. Like I have, believe it or not, y'all, I have bad eating habits.
You're going to tell them about the snack cabinet?
I have a snack cabinet. I have an entire cabinet dedicated to stuff that you would probably say I shouldn't have it in the house. But I do. There's granola bars in there. Probably unhealthy granola bars. But.
Yeah, there's both. There's both the chewy granola bars, and then there's the, which people might say, oh, those Nature Valley ones aren't. But they are. I mean, you have ones that have 10 grams of protein and 150 calories. It's a great pick-me-up snack with good protein.
But we also have Oreos, lots of them, and Little Debbie's. And when they're not $20 for the family bag, we get M&Ms, but you got to find those on sale.
You haven't got those in a long time.
They're so expensive now.
They are.
M&Ms
it's $15 for...
Yeah, we have to get the big bag.
Yeah.
We can't. You got to get the big bag, And, the big family size bag used to be, I thought it was expensive then at like, $10 and $11 for the bag. And goldfish were this way. Goldfish were really expensive. That I thought, $10 for a box of gold, the big box for goldfish was expensive. And then goldfish upped their price. I'm like, well, I'm not going to buy that anymore. And then goldfish brought it back down. M&M's, y'all upped your price and then you doubled down because I was like, golly, they're $15 a bag. And I'm telling you, I think it was either Publix or Kroger or something the other day when we were there. I think it was Publix. So you were getting a smoothie bowl from Publix. And so I walked one of the kids down to go down the ice cream aisle and look for ice cream. See, here's my bad eating habits. And we were going down the ice cream aisle and I was like, oh, let's see about some M&Ms. It was like $19 for a big bag of M&Ms. And I was like, y'all, you doubled down, M&Ms. You really doubled down.
Yeah, it's a shame.
And I'll tell you, I mean, even better than M&Ms are peanut butter M&Ms.
Those were always my favorite. Like, I don't eat that stuff. I don't. And if I would, though, peanut butter M&Ms would be I love peanut butter.
But
peanut butter is like my weakness. So I have PB Fit. That's what I like. I substitute for my peanut butter fix. And it's good. It is. But there's nothing like a Reese cup or some peanut butter M&Ms. But
listen,
when you have to stay away from it, you have to stay away from it.
But peanut M&Ms.
Oh.
Caramel M&Ms.
Yeah, I think the caramel ones are good too.
Pretzel M&Ms.
But there's some that it's like, oh, I have to resist that. Like peanut butter. I could resist regular M&Ms all day.
I'm with you. No, I'm not. But and y'all, I love some dark chocolate.
I used to not like dark chocolate. I love dark chocolate.
Yeah, it's the coffee. You're like it's coffee's like affecting your flavor, your taste. It's funny though, I like dark chocolate, but I don't like coffee. So there's that.
It's an acquired taste.
Yeah, I've never acquired it.
You just keep trying.
I don't want to keep trying. I don't like it.
We could be coffee partners.
Well, don't
just
want
like
it.
working out. We could be coffee partners. We could work out and then go get coffee together.
I don't want it. Not like
I don't want it.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass. But all right, so I think I want to wrap up today. Wanted to talk a little bit about one of the reasons that we like to work out at home, and for us, it's the timing. We like exercise at the house because, well, one, if we can't keep up our routine on a given day, then you can somewhere in the rest of the day, you can say, oh, well, we have a break between this and this. And so we're going to try to get a little bit of a workout in, or I would feel like I've really wasted my time if it's like, well, I can only get 30 minutes. And if to drive somewhere, if you only had 30 minutes, you probably couldn't really even drive somewhere and then get any sort of a workout in and then get cleaned up and get back. But here at the house, it's like, well, we missed earlier, but we have 30 minutes right now. Do you want to go down and go get a workout in or whatever? So I love having space in the house. And I think, too, that you can get creative with that space. I mean, we don't have a large space.
But we have an awesome little home gym.
Yeah, we do. But it's a collection. Like, it's a conglomerate of, 10 years worth of stuff. It's not like I went out and spent, $10,000 and bought stuff all in one day.
Right.
It's been like, you buy one thing and then you buy another thing. And that's something Bonnie and Steve used to say all the time was like, invest, look at it like an investment. You're investing in your gym, you're investing in your health. And so, it's expensive to buy a 30-pound weight anymore. Buy a 30-pound weight's $50 for a 30-pound weight, a dumbbell, unless you found them on sale or clearance or somebody on Facebook Marketplace or something. But it used to be, I remember saying like the good stuff was $1 a pound. Now the good stuff is like $4 a pound.
Oh, yeah.
And so, but you can totally find dumbbells for say $250 a pound or, something in that nature. And so, yeah, that's expensive. You're talking two 30-pound dumbbells will cost you $100 or $120 for two 30-pound dumbbells. But you save up a little bit of money and you buy the 30s and then, you save up a little bit
start with
more.
bands. Like,
yeah.
How much were those bands? He bought me, and sent them to Florida, the Body Elastics bands.
Yeah, they're like, they're about $150 for the set.
And you can travel with them.
Yeah.
They come in a bag, you put them in your suitcase and you can travel with them and work out with them everywhere you go.
There's this video I saw one time. It's really funny. It was like an infomercial. It was like set up like an infomercial, but it's like the new workout equipment, but it was called The Floor. And so, they're like, you can do push-ups on the floor. You can do sit-ups on the floor. And so, I think that getting creative. First of all, like, something's better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like utilizing what you have, utilize the space that you have, utilize the resources that you have. But for us, I think just one thing to say is like we enjoy working out. I mean, I'm to the point now, I actually don't love the idea of working out other places. Oh, there's the yawn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you.
We
I
did
like
good, and then now I just threw out a yawn mid-sentence.
I can feel my eyes starting to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But me too.
really
I
not
love
late.
working at home. I love having a home gym. I love being able to wake up set my alarm, wake up in the morning. Some mornings I'll shut it off 4 times and then get up. But I'll set several. Like I'll set like a 5:30, 5:45, 5:55, 6 o'clock is my last one. I'm done shutting them off at 6 o'clock and come down here and work out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. See, so I think, for us, I guess things that I would say would be like, it doesn't have to take, I mean, yes, stuff can be expensive, but it doesn't have to be.
Mm-hmm.
And, clearance is always a good thing too. Mm-hmm. I got an exercise bike. Y'all want to hear a story? I got Kelly this bike, like a what do you
Echelon.
Yeah,
Echelon
it's
exercise bike.
Yeah, it's like an exercise bike. It's called an Echelon. They sell them at Walmart, like $500, maybe more.
It's like a Peloton.
Yeah, it's like connects to your app and to the screen, and you do just like live workouts with them, whatever.
It's a $500 bike, but we got it for
$70. I think
on clearance.
Might have even been less. I think it was 70, and it rang up even cheaper than that.
Uh-huh.
But I texted it to Kelly, and I was like, "Would you like this?" Well, we saw it there, and it was on clearance for like $200.
Yeah.
And so it was $500 on clearance for $200. And I was like, "But do you like that? Because you like that spin class. Would you like that?" And she was like, "Oh, I would love it." But I was like, we really don't have the $200 right now.
And we wanted to buy me a regular bike so I could go on bike rides with,
Yeah, that's when we were actually looking for that.
Yeah, and so I was like, let's just get the regular bike right now.
Yeah.
That's not.
Because we like to take bike rides with the kids, and so anyway, so I get I get to Walmart one day. I don't remember why I was stopping by there by myself, but nonetheless, I went through the clearance aisle, and there is that bike, and it's on clearance for $70. And then I got it I was like, oh, I'm gonna get it for her. And so I was kind of surprised.
$49.
Yeah, and so I got it for like maybe $50 or something like that when it rang up. And I get home, and there's no power cord. So I looked for something that maybe I would have that would work. Couldn't find anything to work. So I buy this universal power cord that's got like different, amperages or whatever that you can adjust, and different little tips that you can put on it. And so I try all of that and read the instructions and whatever, and looked up stuff online, and I couldn't get that to work. And so finally I end up ordering I called Echelon, and I tried to get one from them. And they said they were out of stock, but I found some on eBay. And so I bought a cord off of eBay, and I had to pay like $40 for the cord. So now I'm $80 into this bike. And the cord came in, and that one still didn't work. And so I just kind of wrote it off. I took it as a loss. I'm like, well, I mean, it still works. It just, the power cord doesn't work, so you can't connect it to the app and do all the app things with it.
Yeah.
But it still works as a bike. So we had it here. All of a sudden, I get in the mail one day. Echelon had, I guess, recorded our call to their warranty, and so they sent us a new power cord. I plug in the power cord, didn't work. And so I called them back, and I'm like, hey, the new power cord's not working. This one is directly from you all. So, I think it's, something's wrong with the bike. And they were like, oh, well, let's get you the
New plug.
The plug itself with a wire that goes through. So I took the whole bike apart. Actually, I'm literally looking at it, and it's still in pieces. And so I had to like run a new cord through the bike and then plug it into this little computer chip portion up inside of the bike. And so I did that, and then plugged in their power cord, and still it doesn't work. And so I called them. Now remember, I had to send them a proof of purchase that I bought this thing for $50 on clearance. They're replacing the whole bike. And then they sent me
an upgraded version because they're out of stock.
They said, we don't have that one anymore. We're not doing that one anymore, but we're going to give you the next level up. And so they're sending us a new bike. It's like a $600 bike that they're sending us for free. It's going to like come to the door, brand new Echelon bike. So now we're going to have one.
So kudos to Echelon.
Yeah, really. Like seriously, talk about some good customer service.
Absolutely. It's just like Costa sunglasses. They have incredible customer service.
We thought they didn't, but then they've come back.
Yeah.
It's kind of, they went back and forth on us.
Yeah. Well, it's because my brother-in-law said, oh no, they didn't do it for me, but I really looked into it, and I pushed through, and it was just fine. You just have to
Yeah.
click a few more things.
Well, I think when you have proof of purchase, that makes a difference
Yeah.
too. And so that, there was proof of purchase, but I don't know how deeply they looked at it to see that I only paid $50 for that bike. But nonetheless, y'all, I'm just telling you right now,
Heck yeah.
I feel like we got a great deal.
We did. We
So
definitely did.
yeah, maybe one day I'll have to show you all the deal. I feel like a deal finder.
Yeah. He really is, though. He finds some great deals.
So
Maybe he should be part of my gifting group.
Mm.
You're a little tempted, aren't you?
No,
He was looking at the group when I created it. I think he was a little
I'm
tempted.
trying to figure out if I could close it. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I wasn't trying to do that. All right, y'all. Well, that's it for us today. Thanks for joining us here in Happy Chaos. That's how I don't even know what to say. That's about what we're doing.
Yeah. What challenge can we give them? Besides the burpee challenge, I want to know who's doing that with us.
100. Well, I would issue 2 challenges. One would be steps. Like jump in with us on some step challenges. You can just put it on this podcast. You can put it up in the stories. We even put it.
Jessica doesn't count.
Jessica does count.
I'm just kidding,
Although you
Jessica.
did kind of dominate Jessica.
No, you guys killed us. You guys blew it out of the water.
It was a lot of steps.
It did suck on a day that we were stuck.
Right. We were a little trapped that day.
Yes.
Anyways, if you want to challenge us to steps, I would say that 100 burpees. If you're really extreme, do the 100 burpees with us. That's apparently happening for the next
Take
60
before
days.
and after pictures, because I'm telling you, you may not think you're doing anything, but my goodness, you'll see changes in your body.
Yeah.
Even if
Sure.
you're not trying to lose anything, definition, I'm seeing definition that I have prayed for. And so I'm excited.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. We hope you guys have enjoyed today's episode, or at least found a good laugh or two in the middle of it.
We love you guys.
Yeah.
Leave us some comments.
Yep. Bye, y'all.
Bye.